Good afternoon, and welcome to Prospero Plays. Today I'm taking a look at a early access game, Dungeons of the Endless. This game is made by a company called Games Together. Games Together you might recognize from their kind of big galactic civilization game called Endless Space. And as you can tell by the Endless theme, this is set in that universe. But this game is completely different. This is a strategy game. It's kind of roguelike, kind of turn-based, kind of live action. It's kind of hard to explain. And so I really am just going to get into it. So I hope you're ready. I will probably die several times here. But I have been playing this a lot. And I have yet to get to a point where I can play more than 30 or 40 minutes without dying, and so I have to start a new game. But we'll do that, so that you guys can see this game. Oh, I also want some music. Ah, there we go. It's so mystical. Okay, new game. Now, the game modes are easy and too easy. Neither of these are true. It is neither easy nor too easy, so I'm going to do too easy because it's slightly easier than easy, just so that you guys get a good idea of how the game works. This intro is pretty good. The spaceship's name is Success. It's a penal transport, so it's a prisoner ship, obviously under attack. There are 296 prisoners. There are fantastically low crew. However, a spaceship, the Stephanie, is falling out. It was an escape pod jettisoned from the ship and crashes. Where did it crash? No one knows. There were like 12 people on board the escape pod, now there's 2. Dang it. These are not the 2 I wanted to survive the crash. So this is my spaceship. It has a power core here in the middle. The power core will allow me to power things as I go and explore this dungeon. There's a door right here. And I have 2 people right now. I have Gork Butcher Korozer, who is described as an enormous, powerful man with a violent temper and an angry face. He has a machine gun. He's really slow and really tanky. So I guess he's pretty good with defense. And then we have here the bounty hunter Sarah Numis, which I read is actually just all the letters of the Metroid lady, just switched around. So she is really fast, interestingly enough. So you've got 3 major resources: industry, science, and food. And each turn, and I use turn very loosely, you get more of that resource. You get however much is marked. So in this case, 3 industry, 3 science, and 3 food. Oh, that's why it's too easy. Normally you just get 1 on default. So I'm at level 1. So to mark the end of a turn and the beginning of a next turn, you have to open a door. In this case, I only have 1 door to open. It's the door to the spaceship, so I need to see what's out there. So I can click there and make Gork open the door. He found an item. Good. There's a lot of worse things that could have happened there. So now I've got this room here that is outside my ship. Now, this is also kind of like a tower defense game, interestingly enough, because you'll open some doors and monsters will spawn, and you'll get waves of monsters attacking. If they get to your core and destroy your core, you lose. If you lose all your heroes, you lose. There's lots of ways to lose this game. So, I've got this room now, and it just so happens my power core has enough dust in it that I can power another room. You can tell that up here in the top by the number of bars. Every 10 dust, you can power another room. I have 28, so if I can find 2 more dust, I can power a 3rd room. Right now, I can go ahead and power this room. It lights up. I'm just going to clear my heroes out so you can see this. This room has module slots in it. So this big one is a big module slot. It allows me to build large modules, which, like an industry generator, a food replicator, or a science creator. I'm going to go and start with the industry generator. And it just so happens that Sarah here is an operator. So you don't need an operator. It'll just do +5. A normal generator... Actually, it might just be +3. Hold on. Yeah, it's +3. However, an operator uses their wit statistic here to operate machines and make them work a little better. And then the small little spaces here are minor module slots, which is mainly just your tower defense tower slots. I only have one that I can use. It's the prisoner's prod. It's a cheap, fast-firing, low-damage turret. So I'm going to put 2 of these because I have no idea whether or not this is actually going to be a contested area. So I'll go ahead and open the next door. So, as you can see, Gork has opened the next door and found hostile creatures. So he's going to fall back into this room where Sarah can help, and also the turrets. Some monsters will sometimes drop dust, which is one of the major ways you get dust. The other is sometimes you just find rooms with dust in it. I was able to find 1 dust off of those 4 monsters because they were fairly low-level monsters. And so I still need 1 more to power a 3rd room. But I can go ahead and power this room if I want to, which I will. This room is actually a really good room to hold as a defensive room, because it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 minor slots. Now the number of minor slots, and if there is a major slot, varies from room to room. As far as I can tell, this is procedurally generated. I have not yet run into the same map. There are currently 6 levels. I have not made it past level 4. If that tells you anything about this game, even on 2 easy mode. I'm going to go ahead and put a food replicator. Now, food is used for several things. It's used to recruit new heroes that you might find lost in these dungeons, but most importantly, it's used to level up your heroes. Since I'm going to be using Gork as my offensive door kicker hero, I'll probably be moving him around. Mainly, I would use Sarah because I love her speed. She's the fastest hero. But she can operate things, and so I would rather her be boosting tech while Gork is kicking down doors. So let's see what's in this room. As you can see, it adds resources up here every time I open a door. Oh, we found an item. What is it? Nail gun. So up here I have an inventory. I have a restrainer, which is actually it was originally meant to be some sort of a restraining device. All the items are really entertaining. I don't have anyone who can use a gun. Well, a pistol. The nail gun is a pistol. I don't have any machine guns. But the restrainer I will put on Gork to up his defense value. So he's now fairly tanky as far as tankiness goes. Now note, I've now opened more doors than I can power. And if I were to power, that means... Sorry, let me try that one more time. I've opened more doors than I can power. I want to power this room, but I can't because I don't have enough dust to power it. Because it's unpowered, when I open a new door, there's a chance that a wave will spawn here, in this darkened room. Which means I'm going to have to put up some defenses. And in fact, I'm probably going to actually have Sarah go over here and operate the food replicator, just to make sure that if any enemies spawn here, they can't attack any of my modules. Because that's just a waste of industry if they're killing your modules. Oh, hostile creatures found. And a wave has spawned here. Luckily, however, there was 2 dusts there between the creatures that spawned in here and the wave over here, so I'm actually going to be able to pop this area here and build my 3rd major place here, the science creator. So now I'm getting boosted amounts of every substance. I'm going to go ahead and level her up. Her active skill is Runaway. the description is some prefer the term to advance to the rear. So she's already the fastest, and she just gets really fast when she uses her active. The active has a 2-turn cooldown. However, only has a certain amount of duration, which is the live-action tower defense portion of it. Gork has the Psycho Killer mod, which increases the movement speed and the attack power, both by 15, and lasts for 6 seconds. Polite people call it Berserker's Rage, is the description. Some of the descriptions in this game are fantastic. Okay, so here is a darkened room. Enemies will probably come through here. I don't have any industry to reinforce this area, though, so I'm going to go ahead and just open the next door. And now I have more industry. Hostile creatures found. I'm going to have Gork fall back. Of course, Gork falling back is difficult because he's so slow. Got another dust. However, there doesn't seem to be anything interesting in this room. Now, so far all you've seen me find is hostile creatures. Well, hostile creatures, really, or empty rooms. There are many other things for you to find. Every time you open a door, you have a chance that it's going to be something good, something really good, something bad, something really bad. And the more darkened rooms there are, the bigger the waves become. The creatures are trying to either kill your heroes. Each creature kind of has its own target as it moves through. There are some that attack small modules, some that specifically will focus large modules, some that most will focus your heroes. And there is one rather slow guy that walks right past, doesn't really care, and goes straight for your power cord. I'm gonna open another door here. There are 7 dust in there. Gork's gonna go ahead and fall back. We're gonna hold this room here. Another dust puts us at 40, which means I can actually turn this room on and move my defensive line if I feel so inclined, which I kind of do. I'll add some more prisoner prods. These aren't very effective prisoner prods. Now, as I mentioned, right now I can only build the prisoner prod 1 and large modules. Each module that you build, or each large module that you build, makes each other large module more expensive. So, as you're going, you have to think, when do I want to build a large module? When do I want to save my industry for small modules for defense? It's kind of loud. Okay, that's a little better. So, I'm gonna go ahead and have Gork open another door. And behind door number 2 is, an artifact. Okay, first of all, I'm gonna fall back. They were no match for Gork. Between Gork's machine gun and the 3 little prisoner prods, they were no match. So up here is an artifact. This is how I get new stuff. So if I look here, here's new things I can research. I can spend science to research either the neurostun module, which is a defense. It makes mobs slower. A Tesla module, which is kind of a step up from the prisoner prod. It fires a little slower, but does more damage. The suppressive firebot is a heart module. I'm not entirely sure what the heart stands for, but it aids heroes which are in the room. So the suppressive firebot makes heroes more powerful, attack power. Or I can research major module, which makes my food replicator from level 1 to level 2, which means instead of doing 3 food per turn, it instead gives me 4 food per turn, just by having a food replicator. I think I'm going to research the Tesla module. So now that's researching. It's going to take 3 turns to research the Tesla module. While the artifact is active and you're researching, mobs will actively attack it. When it's not researching, they won't attack it. So, mobs that come into that room will begin to attack the module and could potentially destroy it. If it's destroyed, you lose the science and you don't get the module. 8 dust. Falling back. As you can see, a wave did spawn there. So I'm going to come up here and see if I can kill this thing before it destroys my science, and let Sarah take care of the mobs heading for the main base. I was able to kill it, I just have to hold it for 2 more turns. However, I do have another power, and so now this is powered, mobs won't spawn here, and I could put defensive modules. But since I know where the mobs are going to come from, if they do come from anywhere, these darkened rooms, they'll have to come through my defensive area. So I can pretty much leave that there. Another door, interesting. Hey, a merchant. So for some reason there happens to be this guy who, I don't know whether he survived on the ship or whether he was just wandering this dungeon aimlessly looking for people to buy things, but he'll sell you things. For dust, actually. Mostly pistols. Wonderful. However, there is some, I use chitin. I can also sell my nail gun. Boom. So, as you see, you can buy things for dust. Now, if I was to spend more dust than I currently have, I would lose power in a room. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to buy the spare mag. The spare mag is a device, so it goes into device slot. As you can see, Gork has one. The spare mag is not a spare magazine, as you would think by reading it, but it is actually a spare magazine, as in a like a magazine you would read. It said most likely jettisoned from a bathroom when the ship crashed. It's good to have a spare magazine around to read when you get bored. It gives you -1 wit, but somehow gives you +5 attack power. So I'm definitely going to purchase that and throw that on Gork. So now he has even more DPS. He's up to 47 DPS. Oh, I also have plenty of food now, so I'm going to level him up to level 3, which gives him even more DPS and even more tankiness. And I'm also going to open a door. Now, the merchant is an NPC, which means monsters will attack him. So if he dies, you can no longer buy things from him, which is unfortunate, but kind of how the game works. So if you want to keep a merchant around, you have to defend him. Same with science. So science and merchants can sometimes spread your defenses, and you have to prioritize what things you want to let die, what things you're willing to give up. In this room is one of my favorite heroes. I forget what his name is. He's a humanoid. He is obsessed with the fact that he's short, and so he carries an extra large sword and kills people who make short jokes. I need a certain amount of food in order to recruit him. So he'll stay and fight in this room until I recruit him and add him to my team. If I move on to the next level before I recruit him, he stays there, and I'm assuming dies. Just because that's how the game works. So I'd love to get him because he is a great room explorer. I can keep Gork back wherever my main defensive line is going to be, and use him because he's both tanky and fast. Powerful, which will allow him to kill enemies. Now note, there's a door here I haven't opened, but I know what both sides of the room are. This is really strategic. If I open this door now, it will make a turn, but nothing will happen. So the best thing I can do, at least in my opinion, is to leave that until later, so that when I need an extra turn, I can open that. Also, mobs can't go through there, so this is effectively blocked off. Now, my research is done. I have finished the Tesla module, so I'm going to go ahead and set up a Tesla module here. So there's a little extra firepower in that room. I can now begin researching something else. I can upgrade the prisoner prod to level 2. Auto dock shards are really nice to have, because it gives 9 health regen to players in the same room. Now I have a lot of science right now, I have 41, so I could go for Industry Generator 2, which is also really good to have. Anything that gives you a boost to industry is good, because it allows you to build things. But what I'm actually going to do is get the tear gas module, which halves enemy defenses. So that's going to take 3 turns to research. 30. It's going to take me a little while. So I'm going to actually have Sarah run over here to see if she can't speed up my food processing. Okay, found a dead end. And in the dead end is hostile monsters. However, it didn't trigger a wave, so that's good. So Gork's going to be able to take them out pretty handily. No problems, no questions asked. It's still all guns. Well, I suppose the chip wouldn't be terrible to have. It reduces speed and increases attack cooldown, but it gives you 10 defense. I suppose I'll wait. So there's still a couple doors. There's a door here, and a door here. So I know there's at least 3 more rooms. And I still haven't found the exit, which is how you get to the next level. Here's another room that just has 8. Uh-oh. Here's the waves. And I'm gonna head and fall back, see if I can't draw enemies into this room, where I get to completely destroy things. And you can always tell when there are still monsters on the map, because at the end of a battle, all heroes and NPCs are healed to full at the end of a round. I don't know where they are, though. Where did they go? Ah, there we go. Excellent. Healed to full. I now have more power. Oh. Note there's some dust lying on the ground from where our friend here killed a monster, so I'm going to go ahead and go over here to collect that dust, because I don't like dust sitting around. Also, I now have enough food, and I can recruit... What's his name? Tro-Pecnio. Alright, Tro is going to run back here, because right now he's pretty useless. I'm going to have Gork keep kicking down doors. Ding, ding. Once I hit him to level 2, though, and he gets his... He also has Psycho Killer, by the way. Once I get him to level 2 and he gets Psycho Killer, I will definitely use him for exploring, because Gork is just so slow. Ah! This room has industry in it. So by sitting there and collecting that, I just gained 8 industry. So there's food, industry, and science just sitting around the dungeon that you can just pick up, which is really nice to have. Oh, tear gas module is finished. I will go ahead and... I'm actually not going to build one there yet. Do I have enough food? No, I need 14. So next turn I will have enough food to upgrade Tro. In the meantime, more science. I have 38 science. Ooh, now this is a big one. There are, sometimes you can get, for a little more expense, a jump upgrade. This will jump my Tesla turrets from level 1 to level 3. And just completely skip level 2. So that is worth it, and I'm definitely going to do that. I'm actually going to have Gork stay, because he's just fast. I'm just so tired of moving around. So he's going to go ahead and go. He should be fine. If he gets into trouble, he can run. It's a large room. Here's the... There was 9 dust in there. Finding the exit does not trigger waves, usually. But the exit is here, which means I now have to strategically think about how I want to get there. Because eventually I'm going to have to get there. I have 2 more power, so I can do that. Just to make it so that less mobs spawn around there. So I think there's only 3 doors left. 1, 2, 3. And I'm pretty sure I know what's behind most of those doors. Except this one. Yep. Ah, hostile creatures. Yeah. Now, in an emergency, you can spend food straight up to heal your champions. As you can see up here, when he takes damage, you can spend it to heal. However, you don't want to do that because then you're using food resources whenever you can. So they'll heal automatically at the end. So you want to avoid doing that when you can. So I'm going to level up to level 2, and he gets the Psycho Killer bonus. So now there are 2 more doors. So I think I'm going to do this one first. I'm going to send Gork up here to defend the science station if necessary. Bam! Tesla Module 3 is unlocked. Now, here's a little trick that I learned about this game. Whenever you finish, you're done, you've opened all the doors in a level, whatever you're researching will automatically finish. This is fantastic, especially since I already know what's behind. I already know that this is the last door. Because, as you can tell, you look around, there are no other doors leading anywhere. So this door between these two is the last door, which means I can run over here, pick something, and know that it's going to finish. And I don't have to defend it at all. I'm going to go ahead and grab the Neurostun module, which slows down the movement speed of enemies in this area. And I'm going to open the last door. When you open a door to a room you've already explored, nothing happens. You also get notified that you've opened the last door of the dungeon. So I've opened 17 doors total, which means I've gone 17 turns. And I need to get here, is where I need to get. So, I'm actually going to go ahead and turn those off, turn those on. So now I have powered a path. I can also turn these off. And I think I'm going to have Sarah do my running for me. So this is an interesting strategy part, and I've died so many times trying to do this. Or trying while doing this particular action that I'm about to do. Now I'm going to turn on all the rooms that I can to give monsters less time, or to make it so that monsters have more time that they have to walk through places to get to me. I can also set up defenses with some of the industry that I have, because I do have a lot of industry. Now, all this stuff that I have saved up here will carry over. Anything in my inventory will not. Dust will not. Heroes will. As well as items that the heroes are carrying will. So she's going to come back here. Gorg and Tyr are going to set up... Gorg is slow, he should set up there. You're going to set up there because you're a little faster. 1 is Gorg, 2 is Sarah, 3 is Tro, I'm sorry, not Tyr, Tro. Alright, Sarah is going to pick it up. Now, as soon as I pick this up, waves start spawning, and they'll just keep spawning until I get out. So, I need her to be as fast as possible. As, by the way, I move through locations, it's being powered by that object, and so it powers down. So all the defenses in that room power down. So you have to keep moving with the stone. And mobs will spawn behind you as the rooms go dark.